Ever feel like you've faded into the scenery of your own story? Not just background noise, but more like a reliable piece of furniture, functional, present, but ultimately overlooked until there's a practical need. You provide, you fix, you maintain, but a quiet fear whispers. If you were gone, would you be remembered or just efficiently replaced? This sense of becoming an appliance, reliable, predictable, and taken for granted, is a silent crisis many face. The connection weakens, and you might be physically present, but emotionally, you're being scrolled past. The dynamic has shifted. Before we continue, if you're here for real talk about rebuilding presence and mutual respect, you're in the right place. Smash that like button right now. It tells the algorithm this matters. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the tools ahead. Many relationships follow a predictable arc. You start as an independent individual with your own mission, circle, and space. Gradually, often without noticing, you cede ground. You check in before making decisions, you apologize for minor preferences, and the strong identity you began with feels formatted by compromise. You might even mistake this slow fade for maturity, confusing control for care and walking on eggshells for partnership. But let's be clear, every time a boundary is pushed and you retreat without comment, every time emotional pressure is applied and you capitulate, you aren't keeping peace. You are inadvertently eroding respect. Deep within human psychology lies a hardwired need for a partner who can stand firm, not out of stubbornness, but out of strength. When you consistently show you can be bent against your own core, attraction and respect silently turn to dust. You can see it manifest in a dismissive tone used only with you, in a gaze that never quite lands. You become viewed as a utility, a provider, a fixer, a comfort. And the more this dynamic solidifies, the more you bend under its weight until you feel like a supporting character in someone else's narrative. Do you recognize this pattern? Comment agency below. This community is for those ready to change the script. This brings us to the central paradox. The very tests of strength that occur in relationships can, over time, wear down the strongest resolve. It's a slow erosion. Each minor drama, each "if you loved me" ultimatum, can wash away a fragment of your autonomy. You become safe, convenient, and emotionally neutered. And the final, tragic irony? The dynamic you enabled often breeds contempt for the role you now play. People acclimate to discomfort. Just as you stop noticing tight shoes, many accept a relationship of low-grade frustration as normal. They assume everyone's life is like this behind closed doors. That is a coping mechanism, a story we tell ourselves to justify powerlessness. The truth is, dynamics can be reset. It begins with communication so clear and firm it changes the game. Here are 3 conceptual frameworks that, when used as responses to manipulation, not as out-of-the-blue attacks, can halt a toxic cycle. These are not for healthy relationships. They are antibiotics for infected dynamics. Framework number 1, the calm observation. When faced with patterned emotional manipulation, instead of reacting with anger, you state a calm, bored observation. You might say, I've seen this pattern before. This move is actually quite predictable. The power isn't in insult, but in refusing to engage in the expected dramatic script. It reflects the behavior back without emotional fuel. It communicates that you see the game and choose not to play. This is crucial. Your calmness is your power. If this is hitting home, pause and share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Framework number 2, neutralizing the threat of loss. A primary lever of control in any dynamic is the fear of loss. When met with an ultimatum or threat of departure, the weak response is panic and pleading. The strong response is calm neutrality. You might say, I respect your decision. Do what you need to do. This isn't a bluff. It's a demonstration of true self-worth. It shows your world does not crumble at the threat of their exit. When you are truly prepared to accept their departure, their primary weapon disappears. Framework number 3, withdrawing emotional fuel. Some attacks are designed solely to provoke a reaction: anger, justification, begging. The disarming technique is the agreement method. They say, maybe I should find someone who appreciates me. You calmly agree. You should absolutely be with someone who fully appreciates you. They say, you're not being a real partner. You agree. You're right. A real partner wouldn't tolerate being spoken to like this. This method annihilates the script. By agreeing, you refuse to defend, justify, or get emotional. You show their attempt to provoke you has no power, leaving them disoriented and the toxic game unplayable. These frameworks work because they shatter the expected pattern. They prove you are not afraid to stand alone, which is the foundation of standing strong together. The ultimate demonstration? Flourishing independently. When someone leaves expecting your world to stop, and instead you focus on your mission, your health, your growth, and your joy, it creates a cognitive shock. They anticipated being the sun in your solar system and realized they were perhaps a cloud blocking the light. Your happiness and success without them is the most powerful message of all. Let's get this video to 10,000 likes. Every like pushes this message further to those who are trapped in silent frustration. Your click matters. Understand this. These behaviors are often not calculated cruelty, but instinctual testing, a secret, twisted plea for you to be immovable. Every test is a silent cry for you to be strong enough so they don't have to hold the frame for both of you. When you finally stand firm, you aren't just saving yourself. You're creating the possibility for a healthier, more respectful partnership. Most will hear this and do nothing. They will choose the comfort of the familiar hell over the temporary conflict required for change. They will fear losing a broken dynamic more than they fear losing themselves. That fear guarantees you lose both. The core fear is not that you will leave. It's that you will stay, yet become completely emotionally independent. It's the fear of your indifference, the desert where manipulation cannot grow. It's the fear of your truth, spoken calmly and without malice. The path forward starts with a single choice: to value your own peace and self-respect more than you fear another's reaction. To communicate clear lines, not with anger, but with unshakable calm. If you are ready to stop negotiating your worth and start building unshakable respect, this channel is your blueprint. Subscribe now. We have a full playlist on building frame and assertive communication. The link is in the description. Comment below. What's one small boundary you're committing to uphold this week? Let's build accountability together. Your agency is waiting to be reclaimed. You can remain a piece of furniture in someone else's story, or you can become the author of your own. The choice is yours. We'll see you in the next video.